But aside from faith, aside from, your kind of connection to God,
Hmm.
what are some, because you're talking to people from all different backgrounds here, and you
Totally.
talk to a
Yeah.
lot of patients. Your story, I know, has been so inspirational, helped
Hmm.
so many.
Hmm.
And in turn, they reach out to you and say, "Hey, James, like you said, I'm in your situation like you
Yeah.
were. What
Hmm.
can I do? Because I
Hmm.
don't yet maybe have that connection, that faith, or anything."
Yeah.
What do you tell them when you
Yeah.
start to hear these people and you hear, I'm 52, I can't
Hmm.
do this, da da da, and you are this, hugely positive
Hmm.
person, but they're like, I just can't do it like you,
Hmm.
Jamie, because
Yeah.
I feel you could give them great advice.
Yeah. Well, besides telling them to read my book, no, just kidding. Maybe we can
Which
have.
is a great starting place.
um, no,
Yes.
I would have them do some inventory, Casper.
Yeah.
I would have them take a hard look at their life because if they want to stay where they're at, then great. We can talk till we're exhausted and blue in the face about all the things that are going wrong, but we're not making any progress, right?
Right.
I would say, more love, less fear. We hear this all the time. I would say we've got to get you into more of a place of love and more of a place of acceptance and more of a place of joy and peace. And how do we do that for you? It might not be through the Lord. To me, the Lord is who gives me the joy. But what is it to you? You mentioned it earlier. I worked with a mother who I adored, and she'd been to your center many times, and we finally got her a good place. And the thing that helped her, she didn't have a relationship with the Lord, but the thing that helped her was we got her why. Her why was for her daughters who were about to be teenagers. She
Mm,
wanted to see them live. She wanted to be at their wedding. She wanted to go wedding dress shopping with them one day. She wanted to be alive and well and present for her girls. And when we got that switch in her mind, man, did her attitude change. Um, Progress began because she had her why. And I think we all need that. I would say to anybody, like, why are you doing this? Like, I've
yeah.
even told people not to go to your center. Don't hate me, but if they're not
No,
ready and they're just going to
absolutely.
have all this financial, it's going to
Yeah.
be expensive and you're not in the right headspace, don't go do that right now because you're probably not going to have the outcome that you're hoping for until we can
Right.
get your mindset and your why and why you want to be well. And so I would peel it all back to why are you alive? Like why are you living? Like
Mm,
what's your purpose? What do you feel you've been put on earth to do? Is it to be the best wife and mom? Is it to go rock the world in the finance? We have a mutual friend now who's just killing it on Wall Street and like she's way up and she went through her own terrible health journey, but she wanted to see her job through and she's a partner now of this big firm and has this gorgeous home in Long Island and kind of got there and did it right. And that's what helped
mhm.
her keep moving forward. That was her why. And I would find what that thing is and I would help that person. Let's figure it out together. If you don't know what it
Yeah.
is, we'll figure it out together. Usually it's where passion and calling collide, where passion and skill collide is usually your
Right.
calling. And so I would say, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? I remember one of our patients was just moping around all day, every day, and she was getting better. And I said, what do you love? She didn't need to work, but she needed to get
Mm,
out of the house. She needed to do something.
hmm.
She's like, I love flowers. I'm like, great. Go call 3 of your favorite flower shops this week. Why don't you get a part-time job? Get out of the
Yeah.
house 10
Yeah.
hours a week. I think she joined a flower shop. I think that gave her more life than anything.
Yeah.
Just to be around people, to be around flowers and things she loved. I would have been sneezing 24/7, but she loved it. And so finding your why and finding the things that make you come alive. I know for you, you love your tennis, you love your hiking, your sunsets. Like you'd probably live a pretty boring life if you were just in New York doing the nine to
So
five
boring.
grind,
Yeah. So boring. Yeah, right. And it's one of the reasons I love the book. And I told you this. It's like after each section, you had a place, a journal area to write in it. You know my affinity to writing. I love to write things. I remember being in New York City when I lived there and watching sunsets and always having my journal, my focus planner,
Yeah.
and writing and then one person came to you one day and they're like, "How's the book coming along?" Because they noticed me out there. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not writing a book." She's like, "Then what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just writing things that come to me." She's like, "People still do that?" I was like, "Yes, and maybe you should too, because
Mm.
it's not easy to always find a wine. It's not an overnight, just one question thing.
No,
It may
takes
take
time.
some time. A
Hmm.
lot of people seem that I find to not quite, because they don't know it right away, find themselves lost, right? Or if they take a detour on that why, let's say the lady called three places and they said, sorry, we just don't have any openings right now. And she stopped there and said, okay, well, that's it. It's not my why, I guess, because why would they say no, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes it takes a little bit longer,
It
but I think
does.
through writing day in and day out and connecting to something, whether you call it God, universe, or
Hmm.
just the truth out there, some
Hmm.
super conscious,
Hmm.
I think it'll come to you. But
Hmm.
I truly believe, and I love that section in writing about it through the words, through the introspection, through some sort of a connection, right? Doing it at times where you're outside, take a few deep breaths, feel that connection, that will come to you.
Yeah.
And that's necessary for healing. I'm sorry. It's just as important as every IV and procedure and therapy you got at the
Yeah.
center. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
If not more. I
Or,
mean, I'm
yeah.
all for, I love the detoxes. I love the way I feel after those IVs, but it's not life to be flying to a center every week and getting a detox IV, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
how do we live beyond that? And I think it's both, it's
Yes.
finding that sweet spot with both things. And I love when people start to get a little sassy for their healing, and I think I had to get a little gritty, and that's something I learned through the healing journey, was to have some grit, and to not take no for an answer with my healing. I'm like, no, we're gonna get there. And you taught me this, Casser. You become your own advocate.
Hmm.
You fight for your healing. And even I remember now being to a place where I could come to the center and say, guys, I think this might be going on. Can you test me? And they're like, wow, yeah, because you become so in tune with what's going on that you're advocating for yourself. And I would share that with anyone that's going through it, is you keep going on your healing journey until you get your healing. And if you're working with people that don't believe you can be healed, go to another doctor,
Yeah. It's a
because you
great
can
point.
be
You
healed.
can't be that passive observer, just
Hmm.
allowing things to just happen and not really taking your own actions and feeling it.